notion that it's people have this like false notion that it's like they will arrest you for a meme or whatever. It's not like that at all, okay?
But they literally detained you looking for bad memes. And you said it was okay. We weren't making fun of Mao. We weren't making fun of their political leaders. This yellow coat was a coincidence. I wasn't actually dressed up like Winnie the Pooh. What are you talking about? Uh-oh.
Okay. Incognito mode chat.
Pocket it. Hopefully it doesn't shut off anything.
No, we're good. Professional. Get in my pocket.
By the way, Hasan said that he was scared to go to Cuba. Why?
Because I didn't want to go to prison. I did cancel the Cuba trip, yes. What's the context behind you saying US deserved 9/11?
But he'll go to China. You know what the difference is? China has good internet. He can stream. That's why he went to China. He just needed to make that paper, that big money.
Roger, you seen this?
Oh, yeah.
Looks good. Yeah.
是什么呀？他录个视频。你是个导游？没有。这是什么？导游。OK。这是导游啊。过来，稍等一下。是啊，你是导游啊？问问他那个，问问他那刚直播那什么东西？让他拿出来给我看。
OK，要看直播的东西是吗？
对，我看一眼刚你那 photo。
So you want to see the photo?
Oh, I didn't take a photo.
Okay.
The internet on your phone?
Good on there, but my internet is not so good. Okay, we'll
On your-
take it back. Okay.
the internet on your phone isn't
back. We're back.
Is this guy like recording his old TV in a dark room in a pitch black? What the fuck is this recording?
Waiting for Will to get out of the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if there's a line for the bathroom.
Whenever the police showed up, they thought, so that thing that we went to, okay? The flag raising ceremony is not,
People that post clips that have them automatically speed up, you guys are just the worst types of people.
it's not in focus. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it. The flag raising ceremony that we went to is not a thing that white people normally go to, right? It's not normally something that like white people attend, right? And
White people.
I assume that they are probably extra attentive and extra careful about people coming to do some fuck shit. Like there's a reason why, for example, there were Chinese nationals on each other's backs, right? But I knew that like if we did it, we would get called out by
Like, imagine if Israel did this to Palestinians. Imagine when American police do this, or if American police did this to black people, right? All of that would be horrible. Also, keep in mind, we're not even talking about, by the way, we're not even talking about like crimes or rioting or violence or anything else. We're just talking about pure political censorship. That's it. The fuck shit that Hasan's talking about isn't rioting, throwing stones at people. It's just pure political censorship. That's crazy.
cops. Because like by and large, especially like the government is aware of like how they are perceived or how much like anti-Chinese propaganda exists out there. And I think the older people are also aware of it as well. But I think the younger populations in China are ironically enough less aware. Like the younger normies are less aware of the animosity that exists, which shouldn't exist at all, obviously, but unfortunately does. And it's almost entirely one-sided, entirely designed by America. But yeah, we're white. So as foreigners in China at this like national event rather than an international one, where as you guys noticed, like they didn't have any like foreigners there at all. He thought he saw something on the phone. Like he thought we were like making a mockery. You know what I mean?
Making a mockery. So the police detained us and went through our electronic devices. Crazy how this guy cried like a baby bitch and was supported by so many people for being stopped for 15 minutes at TSA, but makes a full excuse for political propaganda being done in China where his devices get searched.
They didn't realize that we were swagged out white boys who love China. Are you being careful with your words? No, I'm just telling you like it is. Like they thought they were being extra attentive to make sure that no one is making fun of Mao or anything like that or the ceremony, and that's what they were that's what it was. It's normal for police to take close to foreigners to make sure that white people don't do stupid shit. Yeah, it's a cultural difference, and also they just don't want anyone to pull a fucking Logan Paul or anything like that. How was it resolved? What do you mean? We just like talked to them. We just were like, no, that's not, we're not doing that at all. We're just here to experience the event. I told you to end up in jail. You got lucky this time. Yeah, okay, calm down. You're being ridiculous. This is actually one of the things that I want to show Americans in general, because like people have this like false notion that it's like they will arrest you for a meme or whatever. It's not like that at all. Okay, calm down.
But they literally detained you looking for bad memes. And you said it was okay. We weren't making fun of Mao. We weren't making fun of their political leaders. This yellow coat was a coincidence. I wasn't actually dressed up like Winnie the Pooh. What are you talking about?
It's funny because like I've dealt with cops at this point all around the world, as you guys know. And so as far as like cops that I've dealt with all around the world, European cops in France, American cops, just European cops in other European countries, and even Japanese cops as well, I will say that it's not even remotely up there. The further west you go, the worse cops get, the more aggressive they get. America being the worst one out of all of them.
In China, there might be things that you're not allowed to record, or they might not want you to do whatever fucked up shit, or listen, I love Americans, I love you guys, okay? But China is a huge country that has a ton of different people that go back and forth, okay? You will not be an American that gets abducted and tortured by the Chinese government. It's not North Korea, all right? That will not happen. You're fine. If you're an American, you have a passport, okay? You're not gonna get raped and murdered, tortured, and disappeared, okay, by Beijing. It's not gonna happen, all right? Unless you're doing some crazy shit. And even at that, maybe. But sometimes people look at China like it's like fucking North Korea, or you're in like the fucking deserts of Afghanistan, or you're way the fuck out there, and you're fine. You're an American citizen. You'll be okay, bro. Okay. What are we talking about here, bro?
The Democrat, this is I think it is a unique Democrat problem. Now, when a Republican does something bad, here's the big difference, right? It's not that Republicans don't do anything bad, but when a Republican does something bad, everybody generally says, oh, okay, that's really bad. But the problem is that Democrats look to try to, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter that much. Who cares? And I think that has radicalized a lot of people. And
I think this level of delusion probably means you need medication or something. Like, this has to be psychosis. Like, he has to be breaking from reality to believe this.
View that, and we can contrast this now with, do you remember whenever they had all those text message leaks and it was all those young Republican people talking about how much they liked Hitler? And nobody really cared about that anymore. And the reason why, it's because left-wing people have established basically a standard, and now right-wing people are living up to it.
He's playing into, I don't know if he's intentionally doing it, or it's impossible for me to tell. I have no theory of mind for degenerates like this. I just can't imagine how far gone you have to be, or if you're just a political cell. I'd almost respect it more if it was an ideological thing, because at least then you're not as stupid. But like, we talked about Hillary's emails for a year. We still talk about Hillary's emails every now and then. The Signal leaks, which were 100% illegal, by the way. Did one person from the DOD get fired for that ultimately? Maybe. Like a lower level. Like, we talked about it for like 2 weeks and then it was done. To pretend that Democrats are the ones setting the standards on this is just so ridiculous.
So you have all these conservatives that are saying this crazy stuff.
Also, he's doing the thing again. Remember, whenever liberals are tasked with governance, they have to forgive and turn the other cheek and move on and heal the country. But Republicans, when they talk about bad things that Democrats do, they never, ever say. You will only hear this when liberals are talking to each other. You will never hear a conservative say, we don't want to sink to their level. Ever. You will never hear a conservative say that. Only on the left will you hear that phrase. We don't want to sink to their level, guys. The conservatives say they did it first, so we got to go harder.
And there's never a point of moral authority that, any liberal can have when you're the one justifying, shutting down a college, or you're the one justifying being violent to an officer, or you're the one justifying, destroying property, somebody's car, or something like that. They all got blacklisted and fired from their jobs. Yes, but I understand that structurally, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened to them. What matters is how the public perceives it. And I think that this is continuing to become the case. I think that any conservative at this point should totally stop purity testing, because left-wing people don't purity test themselves.
Like, how delusional do you have to be? It's got to be the cockroaches crawled into his brain. Can he hear out of both of his ears? There might be a hole there where one got in.
And if you allow other people to create the optics for you, all you're doing is you're allowing your enemy to define how you lose.
And it's crazy too, because again, they have he's got a really good understanding of how it works. It's just that his side is the one that's doing it, but he's blind to that somehow.
And
it's not, I need to stop saying somehow. Ooh, the next uncomfortable question I need to start pushing on to people. I didn't do it on Tom. I think I was a lot more aggressive on the Tom debate than I am normally, which I'll start being. But the next aggressive question I need to start pushing is, what do you consume from media? Because Asmongold is a slave to whatever Elon shoves down his throat. All Asmongold is reading is whatever comes across his Twitter feed. I think you can see him do it on his streams. I think he just scrolls through his Twitter feed. This is not critical media consumption.
All you're doing is you're allowing your enemy to define how you lose. And basically, you can see how they had no problem voting for Jay Jones, right? This is a guy that fantasized about killing, his political opponent's children. Well, if you're going to vote for that person and you're not going to have people withdraw their nominations from them, well, then I don't want to hear from you about how bad it is that somebody said something bad in a group chat.
Good one.
Day in my life. I decided that I wasn't going to skip any classes today. I got to school and I put the roof on my car so no one steals it. I was running late to my English class. I knew my teacher would be mad, but I didn't expect her to mark me absent for being only 4 minutes late. So I packed my stuff and walked out. She kept asking where I was going, but I ignored her. Then we went to the guidance office and successfully dropped her class. Then we got Starbucks because we had like 45 minutes until our next class. And we both didn't eat breakfast, so we decided to walk to the dining hall. We didn't see this do not enter sign and we set off a loud alarm. Oopsies. We got in a little bit of trouble, but they just let us go. Then we made it to our computer class. The teacher's so chill, I actually like him. I was locked in, but my sister was online shopping the whole time. After this class, we had 2 hours off, so we decided to go home. We usually go shopping, but my sister didn't like her outfit, so she wanted to change. I tried racing another McLaren, but he didn't want the smoke. Then we made it back home, and after half an hour of relaxing, we had to start going back to school. I decided to switch cars because this one's more low-key. We had to rush to our next class because we were 20 minutes late. Luckily, this professor didn't care that we were late. This class is so boring. I watched TikTok and slept the whole time. Then we got drinks and started walking to our next class. This class has a table shortage, so my sister had to drag a table from another room. I took another nap. I was so exhausted, but I miraculously gained my energy once the school day was over. It was like 5 p.m., so we decided to get some dinner before going home. We decided on McDonald's. We just ate the food in the car. Then we finally got home. A few hours later, I went driving on my ATV, and I ran out of gas on my beach. We tried stealing gas from our Lambo, but it wasn't working, so we had to go to the gas station to fill up a little container. It took me a while to figure out because it was my first time getting gas, but the mission was successful, and my little brother filled up the ATV for me. And that's all for the vlog. Thank y'all for 700k. That's absolutely insane.
Average day of a person in my chat complaining that their student loans aren't being forgiven. Guaranteed.